Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about Batman from Injustice. Now, the Injustice universe takes place outside of DC's main continuity, so this in no way, shape or form affects the New 52 comic book line. Now, much like the Superman video, I'll be doing this all from Batman's point of view, so if I'm apparently missing something, know that I've done it on purpose, just so I can go around to talking about a certain event with a certain character at a later time. Now, on that note, let's get on to the video. Now, in this universe, all is well. The heroes are on top and have put criminals in line. But despite this, Bruce continues to be the hero that Gotham needs. And he can be seen at the beginning of the issue, brooding on top of a building. He would then be approached by Clark Kent, aka Superman, who would in fact ask him to be the godfather of his child. He accepts the offer in a very blunt manner, but even Clark can tell that Bruce is happy. But things wouldn't stay like this. You see, the Joker would kidnap Lois Lane, Clark's wife. This would send the superhero community into a panic. Whilst Bruce was investigating, he came across the body of Scarecrow, who was dead and had his fear toxins stolen. Eventually, they were able to hunt down the Clown Prince of Crime, who was located in a submarine. Clark, understandably still in a panic, would dive straight into the battle, entering the submarine and dealing with the Joker. Now, Clark would enter Earth's atmosphere as he was battling Doomsday, and during this time, Bruce began interrogating the Joker, as this wasn't his normal MO. He wouldn't go after someone's loved one unless he had an ulterior motive, in which Bruce finally starts putting the pieces together. Joker had killed Scarecrow and stolen his fear toxin. Mix in a little kryptonite and you have the perfect fear weapon. And when Clark entered the submarine, he breathed that fear toxin in, which means that Doomsday wasn't Doomsday, it was Lois Lane. Clark had inadvertently taken his wife and suffocated her outside of Earth's atmosphere, killing not only her, but his unborn child. Now, whilst Metropolis was being destroyed, Bruce took the Joker to Arkham Asylum to attempt to interrogate him, but they would be interrupted by Clark, who was so incredibly furious that he in fact killed the Joker. And after killing the clown, Clark retreated back to the Fortress of Solitude, leaving Bruce to clean up the mess. Now, for the most part, Bruce became extremely quiet around this time, as his friend had crossed the line of no longer actually being a hero. To Bruce, this is a line that shouldn't ever really be crossed. Now, Clark would reveal to the world his identity and would announce a global ceasefire. Of course, people tried to challenge him, but Clark proved that he is capable of doing anything, and this would lead to his adoptive parents in fact being kidnapped. So the Justice League would travel around the entire world attempting to track them down. Bruce would then confront the American president and tell him that he knows that he was behind this, and that by actually doing this, all he's done is unite them and make them stronger. Now, eventually they are able to find Clark's adoptive parents, and things become extremely strained between Clark and Bruce, and the two finally confront each other, discussing how far Clark is going. But this conversation quickly gets out of hand, with Clark ripping off Batman's cowl and Bruce being accused of being an awful father figure, which actually leads to Bruce punching Clark across the face, resulting in a hairline fracture in his hand. Now, the Bat computer goes off, tells them that there's currently a problem going on with Atlantis. Now, despite Clark's plea, Bruce chooses to stay out of this, but it seems like he can't do this for much longer, because after forging an alliance with Atlantis, Clark would set his eyes on Arkham Asylum to remove them from society permanently. Seeing this as them going way too far, Bruce steps in with the assistance of Nightwing, and they wait at Arkham Asylum for the appearance of the League. They attempt to stop them and try to prevent them from going too far. However, things don't go well, as a prison riot soon ensues. Now, the League are holding their own, defeating many of the inmates, but all fighting stops when Nightwing accidentally died. The young man fell over in such a way that it broke his spine. This would physically destroy Bruce. Realizing that Clark wouldn't stop, he assembled his own team, made up of Huntress, Black Canary, Green Arrow, Black Lightning, Catwoman, Captain Atom, and Aquaman. Now, during one of Superman's press conferences, a boom tube would open up, releasing thousands of parademons around the world, attacking and killing many civilians. This forced Bruce's team to fight all together with the other members of the Justice League, and they were holding their own, but there was simply too many, and this resulted to Clark once again crossing that line and killing every single parademon on Earth, along with Darkseid's child, Colorback. Now, ever since Batman's formed his own personal team, he's captured and imprisoned Hawkgirl, just so he can have Martian Manhunter keep tabs on everyone in the League. But their cover would be blown, as Damian, who was on the side of Clark, would find out about this and reveal to Superman about Batman's deception. Believing that Bruce has crossed the line, he would attempt to take him into custody by revealing to the entire world that Batman was in fact Bruce Wayne. But when he arrived at the Batcave, he was confronted by John, who was disguised as Bruce. Bruce. Now the Martian would attempt to get away, but a fight would ensue and actually lead to the Manhunter's apparent death. Bruce, shocked by Clark's actions, would finally decide that it was time for them to act. Bruce got an anonymous tip that Superman had Lex Luthor create artificial Kryptonian pills. These pills would put a strain on the heart, but would grant the user extreme strength and power. And knowing how powerful Clark truly is, they definitely needed these pills to stand a chance against him. Batman also arranged that the President create a diversion for them whilst they travel out to the Fortress of Solitude. And when they arrived there, they found Martha and Jonathan Kent. Realizing how bad this would look if Clark got here, he tried to get everyone out there immediately, but it was too late. The last son of Krypton had arrived and was blinded by his rage, seeing this as Bruce personally attacking him. Now before Clark could turn his sights on Bruce, Captain Atom would battle him, leading to the Fortress of Solitude to collapse in on itself, separating Batman's team from Green Arrow. Now Batman's team would evacuate, and during this time, Captain Atom attempted to kill Superman in a massive explosion, but the Kryptonian was just able to survive it. Now Batman's team was a few miles out from the Fortress of Solitude, as they waited for Oliver, but instead they received an arrow attached with a Kryptonian pill, and they all came to realize that Ollie wasn't coming with them. Now Bruce returned to the Batcave so he could break down the properties of the Kryptonian pill and hand over his files to his team, because he knew it wouldn't take long for Clark to arrive there as well. Now just when it started to break down the properties, his former friend would arrive and grab Bruce by the neck, in which Bruce realizes that he's covered in Green Arrow's blood. And as he tells Clark that what he's doing is completely wrong, that he's really lost sight of who he is, he's thrown across the room. Now Bruce refuses to fight his friend, and instead resorts to stalling him, just so the Bat computer can break down the pill. Now the pill almost completely scanned, Bruce runs down to attempt to take it, but is stopped by Clark and is lifted above the Kryptonian. Realizing what Clark is about to do, Bruce pleads to him to not do this, but it's too late. Clark smashes Bruce's spine over his knee, crippling him. Clark apologizes to him, but says that he's far too dangerous to allow him to walk free. And then Clark realizes that this was all a diversion, and as he attempts to pressure Bruce for where this information about the Kryptonian pill was sent, he's confronted by Alfred, who has taken the Kryptonian pill, and beats Clark into the ground, leaving him in a bloody mess. Bruce is then taken away by his butler to a safer and better place. Now during this time, Clark along with the Justice League has outlawed Bruce as a criminal, and that draws year 1 of Injustice to a close. Now during the events of year 2 of Injustice, Bruce wakes up in the Tower of Fate, where he's currently rehabilitating his bat, and for the most of year 2, he's sitting on the sideline, and the regime aren't currently looking for him, due to the fact that they have their hands full with the Green Lantern Corps. But Bruce does send out his ally to help out Gotham. As the time between year 1 and year 2, Clark has created a militant force that is extremely brutal, so he hopes that with the assistance of the Kryptonian pills, along with his allies, they can fight off Superman's forces, and they do an extremely good job of pushing them out. Now during the later half of year 2, Bruce is starting to come to grips with regaining his balance, although he isn't quite there yet. He's only held up by a robotic spine and with the assistance of magic. Now Bruce would meet up with Oracle, as he was well aware about this Green Lantern war and wanted to make sure that Clark would lose. They would do this by capturing a few members of the League and make sure that the Watchtower couldn't track their signal. Now Jim Gordon would go to the Watchtower, in which he would beat down Cyborg and cut off all communications back to Earth. But Jim wasn't doing too well. You see, ever since the beginning of year 2, Jim Gordon had developed cancer, and the Kryptonian pills that he had been taking to take care of Gotham were starting to catch up to him. He has one final word with Bruce before passing away. Now during the climax of the Green Lantern War, Batman would have his forces intervene and have his Batwing attack Clark, although it would be destroyed. Now they were so incredibly close to defeating him until Clark gained a fearing, and this ring would completely destroy their plan. You see, as Clark took down Dinah, she had lenses in her eye that would broadcast to the entire world what he was doing, and this made them fear him, which furthermore fueled his ring, making him completely unstoppable, leading to him completely dismantling the Green Lantern army. Now although Bruce did lose this opportunity to take down Clark, it would by no means be the end, and he would later on resort to much more mystical options. But yeah, this wraps up year 1 and 2 of Injustice from Bruce Wayne's point of view. I hope you guys enjoyed this, as these videos are rather lengthy. Now what do you think about Bruce's stand in the Injustice universe? And what I mean of this is, do you think that he should have crossed that line to prevent all of this? Or did he do the right thing by not having the Madman killed? Please put down below, as it will start up a very interesting topic. Now I will be doing another one of these in 2 weeks time, and I'll be covering year 3 and year 4, just to give you guys a heads up if you actually really do like this. Now as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care and I will see you all next time.